Chosen one, please do not scroll away from this screen. You must stop what you are doing right now. This is not the algorithm bringing us together. This is an urgent divine interception from the highest realms. Heaven has routed this exact message to your screen because you just crossed a massive spiritual finish line. If you leave now, you will walk away right before the ultimate reward is handed to you. You have been through absolute hell during these recent months. The attacks on your mind and your body were relentless. You felt completely abandoned by the universe and everyone around you. And there were nights when you cried yourself to sleep while begging for just one moment of peace. You honestly believed that you were failing, but you were actually passing the hardest test of your entire life. The devil threw absolutely everything he had at your life. He used the people you trusted most to drain your energy. He created chaotic situations that made you doubt your sanity. He wanted to break your spirit completely because he saw the massive blessing that was coming your way. But you did not break. You stood your ground while your gentle heart was bleeding. God is so proud of you for holding the line. You have no idea how loudly heaven is cheering for you. You survived the brutal storm completely alone in the dark. You became the spiritual warrior you were always meant to be. And because you refused to give up, the enemy is absolutely panicking right now. They know they have lost their toxic power over you forever. But before we go any further, I want to hold something in front of you. Something that was discovered not inside a church, but inside a research laboratory. This discovery won the highest scientific recognition available, and yet most chosen ones have never been told about this secret. It perfectly explains everything you went through during the silent years. It explains the deep gap between the person you know yourself to be and the exhausted version of you. That tired version barely survived the attacks last year. I will show you exactly what the researchers found. But I will not reveal the answer just yet. First, I need you to fully understand what was taken from you during those brutal battles. So hold this crucial question in your mind right now. What if the extreme exhaustion you feel is not a character flaw? What if the heavy block on your blessings has a specific scientific name? You have been blaming yourself for not having enough strong faith. You thought you were doing something wrong because your prayers seemed to hit a solid brick wall. But heaven was never ignoring your painful cries for help. The harsh tests were designed to burn away everything that was fake in your life. The toxic friends had to be removed. The dead-end situations had to collapse completely. God isolated you to protect your energy from people who were assigned to destroy your future. It felt like a cruel punishment, but it was actually divine protection. Think about how many times you almost walked away from your divine calling. The darkness whispered that you were crazy to keep hoping. It tried to convince you that you were destined to struggle forever while evil people prospered. But your beautiful soul recognized the lie. You wiped your tears and you kept walking bravely through the heavy fog. That quiet resilience is exactly why you are the ultimate chosen one. You are the cycle breaker for your entire family bloodline. The generational curses that destroyed your ancestors tried to take you down too, but they hit a solid wall of pure light when they met you. You absorbed the pain and you transmuted it into unbreakable spiritual authority. Now the painful waiting season is officially coming to an end. The heavy gates of heaven are swinging wide open for your spirit. The massive compensation for your silent suffering is being released into your timeline right now. But the enemy is preparing one final illusion to steal your focus. You must be completely awake to recognize the hidden trap. If you take your eyes off this message, you might miss the crucial instruction heaven is sending you today. The blessing is already here, but you need the right frequency to hold it. And that brings us back to the discovery I mentioned earlier. There is a physical key that locks your spiritual victory firmly into place. Many people survive the hardest tests, but they lose the reward because they do not know how to maintain their frequency. I absolutely refuse to let that happen to you. You have fought too hard to be robbed at the finish line. Pay very close attention to every single word I say next. Your entire reality is about to shift permanently in your favor. The deep pain you experienced was the fire that forged your brand new identity. You are no longer the fragile empath who begs for basic human respect. You are stepping boldly into the glorious role of a master of reality. And a true master does not react to the frantic noise of a defeated enemy. A master simply watches the darkness dissolve into total nothingness. Are you ready to understand the massive scientific secret behind your suffering? Are you ready to step into the glorious light that was promised to you? Take a deep breath and center your spirit right now. Let the heavy weight of the past fall off your tired shoulders. You successfully passed the ultimate test. Now it is time to claim your kingdom inheritance. Let me tell you exactly what has been happening in your physical body recently. You wake up exhausted even after sleeping for 8 full hours. Your chest feels heavy with a strange anxiety that you cannot explain. People around you tell you to just relax, but you know deep down that a simple weekend getaway will never fix this massive spiritual exhaustion. You keep waking up suddenly at exactly 3 a.m. with your mind racing. Your heart beats incredibly fast while the rest of the house is perfectly quiet. You thought you were losing your mind, but there is actually a massive spiritual reason for these sudden nightly disruptions. I will explain exactly why your spirit is forcefully waking you up in the dark. Your soul is actively fighting off intense spiritual attacks while your physical body rests. At 3 a.m., the veil between the realms is extremely thin, and the darkness tries to plant toxic seeds in your subconscious mind. But your spirit is too strong to let those seeds grow. You wake up because your internal alarm system is brilliantly protecting your divine energy. You have felt incredibly isolated and misunderstood for the past 12 months. Every time you tried to explain your feelings, people just looked at you with blank stares. Your own family members probably called you too sensitive, so you stopped talking about your deep pain and learned to suffer in total silence. You carried the heavy weight of the world on your shoulders, completely alone. Listen carefully to this crucial next part. Your intense isolation was absolutely not a punishment from the universe. God deliberately removed those people from your daily life to protect your sacred frequency. They were completely incapable of understanding the massive spiritual upgrade you were going through, and keeping them around would have anchored you to a miserable lower vibration. Think about the bizarre string of bad luck you experienced recently. Cars breaking down, sudden financial expenses, and unexpected conflicts arrived out of nowhere. It felt like an invisible enemy was orchestrating a coordinated attack against your peace, and you were absolutely right to feel that way. The devil was throwing desperate distractions at you to drain your vital energy. You gave your pure heart to people who completely took advantage of your kindness. You forgave them over and over again because you are a natural healer. But they rewarded your endless loyalty with brutal betrayal, and you probably blamed yourself for being too trusting and ignoring the obvious red flags. Stop blaming your beautiful heart for the ugly actions of severely broken people. That painful betrayal was the exact catalyst you needed to build iron boundaries. You were too nice, and the universe needed you to become incredibly strong. You cannot become a master if you let toxic energy vampires drain your light. The pain taught you how to firmly close doors that should never be opened again. Your kindness is now protected by quiet authority. There were specific moments when you literally yelled at the sky in sheer frustration. You watched selfish people succeed easily while you struggled for every single inch of progress. It felt like heaven had completely forgotten your name and your silent sacrifices. But heaven was actually watching your every move with intense anticipation, waiting to see how you would handle the ultimate pressure. This was the ultimate test of your spiritual endurance and your divine faith. The universe needed to see if you would turn bitter and cruel, like your attackers. The devil bet everything that the constant pain would finally turn your pure heart cold, and he wanted you to drop down to his miserable level. But you chose to remain wonderfully loving, even when it absolutely hurt. You chose quiet grace over loud chaos. You chose to heal your deep trauma instead of bleeding on completely innocent people. That is exactly why you easily passed the brutal test that destroys most ordinary people. Your stubborn refusal to become bitter is your greatest spiritual weapon against the spreading darkness, and it proves that you are entirely unbreakable. But proving your spiritual strength took a massive toll on your fragile physical body. You jump at loud noises, and you constantly feel a low hum of anxiety because your nervous system is completely fried right now. This is exactly what spiritual battle fatigue looks like in the real physical world. Your powerful soul won the epic war, but your human body desperately needs serious repair. Before you do anything else, take one slow and deep breath. Feel the absolute truth of my words settling right into your chest. You are not crazy, and you are definitely not broken after everything you survived. But there is a scientific reason why your physical energy is taking so remarkably long to recover, and it has to do with how your brain was literally rewired during the dark storm. You always thought the repeated failures were entirely your fault. They convinced you that you were just not trying hard enough. You analyzed every single mistake, trying to find out exactly what went wrong. But the absolute truth is that you were playing a rigged game against forces that actively wanted to see you fall and completely lose your radiant light. Let that heavy guilt go right now. You are completely innocent. The dark enemy did not target you because you were incredibly weak. They targeted you because your spiritual light was absolutely blinding to them. They saw your massive potential early. They knew your great destiny. They felt your quiet authority, and they were terrified of what would happen if you ever realized how much raw power you truly hold inside your beautiful soul. So they launched a brutal strike. They sent highly toxic people to keep you constantly distracted. These empty shells fed greedily on your beautiful, bright energy. They mirrored your deep kindness just to gain your complete trust. Then they slowly started tearing down your fragile self-esteem piece by painful piece. They desperately wanted you to feel completely worthless. But their cruel actions were actually a massive compliment in disguise, because darkness only bothers to steal from the absolute best and brightest souls. You are not responsible for the deep damage they caused you. You offered them pure love, and they handed you pure chaos. Stop trying to make sense of their totally irrational behavior. You cannot fix a demonic spirit with a simple human apology. The universe saw everything they did to you in the dark, and heaven has already prepared a massive table for you right in their presence. Your victory is officially secured. But surviving this brutal war took a serious toll on your mind. You feel completely disconnected from the divine flow right now. Your tired prayers feel heavy and totally empty. You wonder why the magical synchronicities have completely stopped happening. Here is the absolute truth that they never wanted you to find out. The heavy spiritual block dragging you down is not just an illusion in your mind, but a real physical suppression of your natural energy. The reason the universe responds to certain people and not others is not faith. It is not intense discipline or even good karma. It is an actual physical brainwave. Scientists have a specific name for it. They call it the gamma frequency. And it is the exact frequency your brain was running when you were a little child who still believed in endless daily magic. Back then, everything felt so incredibly easy. Your bright ideas came very easily to you back then. Learning new things felt completely effortless and fun. You somehow knew things long before they actually happened. The entire world felt like it was completely on your side. Then brutal adulthood arrived and ruined everything. The chronic stress and the painful survival routine went to work on your fragile mind, and the cruel school systems trained you to conform instead of create. Every single year, this sacred frequency was suppressed a little further. It was pushed deeper and deeper below the conscious surface. The version of you with lightning intuition slowly disappeared. The version of you with that magical luck went completely silent. And the relentless spiritual attacks pushed that beautiful gamma wave entirely out of your daily reach while you were desperately trying to survive. You lost your highest vibration. Most people will live their entire lives without knowing this happened to them. But you are definitely not most ordinary people. You are a chosen one seeking the absolute highest truth. And the crucial question I asked you to hold a few minutes ago matters right now. The vital question about a strange gap and a hidden scientific name. The ultimate answer is actually closer to you than you think, and heaven is finally ready to reveal the missing piece of your puzzle. You must stop carrying the heavy guilt of those painful silent years. You did not fail your massive spiritual assignment. You were just operating with a severely suppressed frequency under heavy enemy fire. It is a total miracle that you even survived the vicious attacks. Heaven recognizes your incredible resilience. Your true, magnificent power is quietly waiting to be fully reactivated once you finally clear out the toxic interference and step back into your natural divine alignment. The toxic enemies thought they had successfully buried you alive. They celebrated when they saw you stumbling in the dark fog, but they did not realize you were just a powerful seed preparing to sprout. Your silent suffering was secretly gathering massive kinetic energy deep beneath the heavy surface. And when you finally break through this dense soil, your pure, blinding light will absolutely destroy their wicked illusions forever. They are terrified of you. Take a very slow breath and let that validation settle deeply into your soul. You have absolutely nothing to be ashamed of anymore. You fought bravely against invisible forces that would easily crush normal people. Now it is time to understand exactly how the enemy engineered this nasty trap. I will expose their darkest mechanism so you can permanently escape their matrix of endless suffering and reclaim the glorious destiny that was promised to your bloodline. Your true era officially begins now. You always carried a rare frequency that agitated the broken souls around you. They mocked your pure dreams because they lacked your grand vision. They called you crazy because they could not hear the divine voice guiding you. Do not ever apologize for making the demons incredibly uncomfortable with your bright aura. Your mere presence demands total respect from the shadows, and they know their time of manipulating your kind heart is completely over. You are officially untouchable today. Let me expose the exact mechanism the darkness uses to trap you. The enemy is not just some invisible ghost haunting your dreams. The darkness operates as a highly organized system, and this corrupt system feeds exclusively on one specific human frequency, pulling your energy down while you try to stay afloat. They cannot touch your magnificent spirit directly, so they attack your physical nervous system instead. They want to control your mind. They desperately need to keep you locked inside survival mode forever. Scientists call this chaotic state the beta brainwave frequency. Beta is the harsh frequency of pure panic, endless anxiety, and chronic stress. When your brain is trapped in beta, you cannot hear the gentle voice of heaven, and you only hear the loud noise of your frantic survival instincts. It is a miserable prison. Think about the endless drama that constantly surrounded you last year. The toxic text messages that ruined your peaceful mornings. The unexpected bills that drained your bank account just when you felt ahead. None of that was an accident. It was a highly coordinated spiritual attack designed to force your brain back into the beta frequency ensuring you remained completely exhausted and deeply confused. The narcissists in your life are active agents of this dark matrix. They do not possess any natural divine light of their own. They are empty vessels sent to harvest your beautiful energy by keeping you constantly angry or incredibly sad. Every time you tried to explain your pure intentions to them, they successfully stole another piece of your bright aura for their own selfish survival. They push you into survival mode because they know exactly who you are. If you ever escape the beta frequency and access your true divine state, you become completely untouchable. Your absolute silence terrifies them because it proves that their manipulation no longer holds any power over your healed heart. They need your emotional reaction to survive. Your peace is violently starving their demonic system. You spent years fighting massive spiritual battles using a physical survival mechanism. You tried to use logical beta waves to solve deep spiritual problems, and that is exactly why you felt incredibly stuck. You genuinely thought you were fundamentally flawed or unworthy of love. But you were simply operating inside the wrong neurological state because the enemy forced you into a defensive posture. Listen very carefully to this next crucial part of the revelation. The entire enemy trap relies entirely on a massive and fragile illusion. They make you think you desperately need their validation to survive in this harsh world. They try to convince you that your high standards are delusions of grandeur, while they are the ones secretly feeding off the crumbs of your immense spiritual power. Take a slow, deep breath and let that heavy realization sink in. You never actually needed them at all. They desperately needed you to stay broken so they could finally feel powerful and important. The moment you simply stopped playing their twisted games, their entire fake reality started crumbling down around them. Your spiritual awakening is the exact nightmare they dreaded, and now it is happening. Heaven deliberately allowed this painful test so you could finally see the invisible matrix. You had to experience the suffocating beta trap to completely understand how the dark forces operate quietly behind the scenes. Now you finally know their ultimate secret weapon. You can clearly see the hidden strings that tried to pull you down into their miserable pit of despair, but those weak strings are snapping. The broken people who betrayed you are sitting in complete confusion right now. They are wondering why their toxic words do not trigger your deep pain anymore. They are panicking because the energetic bridge between you and them has been burned to the ground, leaving them to starve in the dark. You have taken your glorious power back, and there is nothing they can do to stop your massive ascension. Your magnificent era of quiet authority is forcefully taking over everything. You no longer beg for a temporary seat at their miserable table of gossip. You are currently building an eternal kingdom with your own two hands. Your pure energy commands ultimate respect without you ever having to speak a single word aloud, and the entire universe is rapidly clearing the path for your royal steps. But there is still one more critical layer to this massive spiritual phenomenon. Escaping the toxic beta trap is only the very first step of your grand journey. You successfully cut the cords to the dark matrix, but your nervous system is still heavily damaged from the brutal war. There is a specific physical switch inside your brain that desperately needs to be flipped back on before your light can be fully anchored. Do not ignore this next sign because it holds the master key to your permanent freedom. The Dark Elite have known about this physical switch for many decades. They actively suppress this vital knowledge because a chosen one with a restored brainwave is the most dangerous weapon against their corrupt system. I am going to expose the exact scientific solution they are trying to hide from you. Stay entirely locked on this message. The heavy spiritual winter is finally over. You can feel the massive shift happening in the invisible realm. The long waiting season has officially expired. God is forcefully removing the heavy blocks that kept you trapped in survival mode for years. The massive divine transformation is knocking loudly on your door right now. Your beautiful spirit is about to receive a massive upgrade. Before we go any further, I must tell you something huge. Something the people who profit from your exhaustion desperately want to keep hidden. The Dark Elite have known about your suppressed frequency for decades. They spent millions of dollars trying to keep this exact knowledge away from chosen ones like you. They are terrified of what happens when you finally wake up from your forced sleep. But heaven always provides a powerful way out of the dark matrix. Neuroscientists working very quietly away from the loud headlines have discovered how to bring your dormant brainwave back. They did not use years of difficult meditation that most exhausted people cannot sustain. They did not use expensive biofeedback machines that cost thousands of dollars in a cold, clinical setting. They found something far simpler and far more aligned with how you were perfectly designed to work. A specific sound frequency was brilliantly engineered to guide your brainwave patterns safely back to the genius state. It naturally restores the exact divine frequency you were born with. You do not need to struggle or force your tired mind to focus anymore. The healing happens completely automatically. Princeton University rigorously studied this incredible phenomenon. The Einstein Center in Berlin confirmed the massive results in their own independent labs. Columbia University found that when this specific brainwave is reactivated, it actually begins to positively influence the people around you. Your children and your partner will feel your upgraded energy immediately. The shift is truly undeniable. It only takes 7 minutes a day to create this massive shift. That is absolutely all it takes to rebuild your spiritual armor. And it begins working the very first time you close your eyes and listen. I will tell you exactly what this powerful tool is called and how to access it before this message ends. But first, there is something you need to deeply understand about your new reality. The enemy wants you to doubt this incredible divine intervention. They want you to think this miraculous alignment is just a random coincidence. You must aggressively protect your new frequency right now. Type the numbers 111 down in the comments to officially claim this alignment and block the enemy attacks forever. Sealing your intention is a massive act of spiritual warfare. When you type those numbers, you are sending a clear signal. You are telling the universe that your heavy beta wave prison is finally broken. The toxic narcissists who fed on your pure light are officially locked out of your energetic field. You are reclaiming your rightful throne as a true master of reality. And heaven is eagerly matching your bold physical action with massive spiritual rewards. God often provides the exact physical tool we need right when we are ready to receive it. You did all the brutal inner work completely alone in the dark. You healed your deep childhood trauma while others simply projected their pain onto you. You successfully proved your unshakable loyalty to the divine light. Now the universe is handing you the final physical key to lock your ultimate victory in place. Every single tear you cried in secret was carefully collected by heaven. The nights you spent begging for just a tiny bit of relief were never ignored. The universe was using that intense pressure to expand your capacity for massive wealth and deep love. Your physical vessel had to be rigorously tested before it could safely hold the incredible power of your true gamma frequency. You survived the brutal fire. Now you are perfectly ready to hold the massive generational wealth that is coming to your family. You are ready to experience the deep soulmate connection that you have always craved. The heavy chains of your painful past are literally falling off your tired feet right now. Can you feel that incredible warm shift happening deep inside your chest? That is the glorious feeling of total liberation. The dark matrix is collapsing right before your very eyes. They cannot stop the massive flood of divine favor that is rushing into your life today. But I must warn you about the final desperate trick they will play before you cross the ultimate finish line. You must stay highly alert as we enter the most critical phase of this message. Your complete freedom depends on what you choose to do next. The final test is always the most deceptive one. The enemy knows you have found the secret door to your ultimate freedom. They can see the bright divine light shining radiantly on your beautiful face. So they are going to send their absolute best illusions to pull you back into the dark mud. I need you to anchor your spirit completely right now. We are about to expose their final fatal trap. Let me reveal the fatal trap I warned you about earlier. It is the ultimate illusion set right before your dawn. When the dark matrix realizes it cannot break your spirit through pain, it changes its entire strategy. It tries to seduce you with familiar comfort. The enemy is absolutely panicking right now because they can see your divine power waking up. They know your massive blessing is already at the door. So, what exactly is this final deadly trap? It is the sudden reappearance of a highly toxic person from your painful past. You will get a random text message late at night, or maybe an unexpected phone call offering a fake apology. They will claim they have finally changed their wicked ways. They will try to sound incredibly sweet and wonderfully understanding, but it is a complete and utter lie. Do not reply to them under any circumstances. They did not return because they suddenly realized your immense value. They returned because they are absolutely starving in the dark. Your prolonged silence cut off their primary energy supply. Without your pure light to feed on, their miserable lives have become a chaotic mess. They are just trying to plug back into your beautiful energy source. Heaven calls this the test of the counterfeit. The devil always sends a fake counterfeit right before your true kingdom connection arrives. He wants you to settle for familiar toxic garbage so you miss the divine masterpiece. If you open that door, even a tiny crack, you invite the heavy beta wave chaos back into your mind. You must brutally protect your peace by keeping that heavy door shut. You are no longer the weak empath who begged for basic closure. You are a true master of reality. And a master does not step down from their glorious throne to argue with a desperate beggar. Your complete silence is your most dangerous weapon right now. You do not need to explain your boundaries or yell at them in anger. Your quiet authority speaks volumes, and your silence is completely terrifying to them. They thought they had broken you permanently when they walked away. They expected you to stay stuck in a miserable loop of self-blame and endless sadness. But instead you used their betrayal as a powerful stepping stone to reach your highest timeline. Funny how the exact same people who severely underestimated you are now feeling incredibly uncomfortable around your new dominant energy. You became the massive storm you were trying to survive. The tables have officially turned in the spiritual realm. Those who plotted against your success are watching their own fake empires crumble to dust. Meanwhile, a magnificent table is being prepared for you right in their presence. They are forced to watch you ascend to heights they can never possibly reach with their low vibrations. This is exactly what happens when a chosen one finally wakes up. You are the cycle breaker who stopped the generational curse dead in its tracks. The dark entities that haunted your family bloodline for decades are completely paralyzed by your radiant light. You did the impossible inner work completely alone. Now your aura demands total respect before you even walk into a crowded room. Your new frequency is incredibly blinding to the enemy. That is exactly why they are desperately trying to distract you today. They know that if you successfully maintain this high vibration, their access to your life is permanently revoked. You are standing right on the golden edge of your greatest breakthrough, but you must hold the line a little bit longer. Do not look back at the burning bridge. Let the dead connections bury themselves in their own miserable dirt. You have a massive kingdom to run and a divine legacy to build. Every time you ignore their pathetic attempts to contact you, your spiritual armor becomes even stronger. The universe is actively testing your readiness to hold the massive wealth and deep love coming your way. Pass this final test with absolute flying colors. Feel the immense power expanding inside your chest right now. The heavy fog of confusion has completely lifted from your brilliant mind. You finally see the dark matrix for exactly what it is. It is nothing but a fragile illusion maintained by deeply broken people. You have officially outgrown their small, toxic world. Your magnificent spirit requires an entirely new, elevated atmosphere to breathe freely. But remember what I told you earlier about your nervous system. Your brilliant mind still needs a physical anchor to lock this incredible frequency into your daily reality. The elite forces are watching you closely right now. They know your spiritual power is fully active, but they hope your physical exhaustion will eventually pull you back down. We are going to completely destroy their last hope. I am about to reveal the ultimate scientific tool that secures your absolute victory forever. This is the exact moment everything changes for you. The dark forces cannot stop what is coming next, and your magnificent era of dominance is officially sealed. Prepare yourself for the greatest revelation of your entire life. Your endless waiting ends today in a massive wave of pure divine glory. The waiting season is officially over. The dry desert you walked through has suddenly burst into an oasis of favor. Every closed door is being blown off its hinges, and you can finally feel that massive shift activating deep inside your spirit. That is the glorious frequency of absolute victory. You are stepping into the exact timeline you were born to perfectly rule. The crucial question I asked you to hold earlier, what if the gap is not a character flaw? Here is the final answer. A specific brainwave was running in you as a young child at genius-level capacity. They call it the gamma wave. But the modern world severely suppressed it. You lost your ability to manifest your desires because daily stress slowly pushed your frequency into the dark. Princeton University rigorously studied this suppressed wave, and the Einstein Center confirmed the exact same truth in their labs. Columbia University found that restoring this brainwave radiates outward to influence the people you deeply love. A brilliant team of neuroscientists spent years studying this phenomenon. Dr. Robert Lake led them to compress the full clinical protocol into 7 magical minutes. Let me tell you about 2 people who actually used it. A woman from California had desperately tried absolutely everything. She tried endless meditation and daily manifesting. Nothing broke the heavy fog. But after 2 weeks of listening, she said something finally cleared, and her marriage beautifully shifted back to a place of pure love. She described her daily life as completely enchanted for the first time. A man from Texas started using it to improve his struggling business. 2 months later, his wife joked that his intelligence had jumped 20 points. The hardest problems he used to lose sleep over started solving themselves, because his brain was automatically finding the hidden divine answers. He said it felt like his tired brain was finally running on pure fuel. That is exactly what the amazing researchers discovered. They call it the Genius Song. It is definitely not a meditation app. It is a 7-minute audio track using advanced brain entrainment technology. It was compressed from 1 full hour of clinical protocol into something you do safely at home. You just wear headphones and close your eyes. You do not meditate or chant. You simply let the powerful frequency do exactly what your brain was designed to magically receive. The Genius Song is not for everyone. It is only for the chosen one who has already done the heavy inner work. It is for the brave warrior who understands that what is blocked is not their strong faith, but their physical frequency. Biofeedback sessions cost hundreds of dollars per hour in a cold clinical setting. What the Genius Song delivers is available to you today for a tiny fraction of its true value. 4 powerful bonuses come with it to support your new life. You get an audio designed specifically for your children to build their focus. You receive the original prosperity text that famous wealth books were secretly built upon. You also get a beautiful guided visualization and a daily habits guide. And these tools are brilliantly built to sustain your high gamma state beyond each relaxing listening session. Here is the deeper truth about waiting for your huge blessing. The divine provision God arranged for you does not arrive as new information. It gracefully arrives as a clear recognition. Something already placed in your path becomes visible when your gamma is restored. The chosen one who restores the receiver today finally sees what was always there, because the divine arrangement is already in motion right now. Do not look for this precious tool on public streaming platforms. The dark forces create counterfeits to distract you from your ultimate breakthrough. The fake tracks circulating online have absolutely no brain entrainment technology encoded in them. They carry the sacred name because the barrier to stealing it is zero, but the only authentic version is available through the protected link that was exclusively prepared for you. The universe demands absolutely no risk from a pure chosen one. This is a pure, energetic exchange governed by complete divine trust. And if you do not feel the immediate energetic shift, your earthly investment is completely reversed without any annoying questions. You are fully protected by a powerful divine guarantee. The secure link is waiting in the description below and in the pinned comment. The physical tool does not replace your beautiful obedience. It does not replace your pure spiritual surrender to God. It simply restores the broken receiver through which your faith produces massive results, while your beautiful soul continues to trust the universe. Whether that specific path is for you or not, the absolute truth of this message belongs entirely to you. Now let us return to the deep spiritual center. You are completely washed clean of the heavy beta wave chaos. The pitch-black darkness has permanently retreated behind your back. The gorgeous dawn of a brand new era is shining its brightest rays onto your spiritual crown. You have successfully claimed your rightful position as the absolute master of your beautiful reality, and heaven is preparing to permanently seal your glorious victory today. Your incredible journey through the dark valley is permanently over. The heavy shadows that haunted your tired steps are rapidly dissolving into absolute nothingness. You stand today exactly where heaven always promised you would stand. You are completely victorious. The brutal attacks did not diminish your beautiful light. They only polished your soul until it became entirely blinding to the enemy. The universe is placing a massive crown of divine authority on your head right now. Every single tear you shed in secret has been transformed into a brilliant diamond of spiritual wisdom. You carry the quiet authority of someone who survived the impossible completely alone. And because you passed the ultimate test, heaven is officially shutting the heavy iron door on your painful past forever. Before we begin the final sacred closing of this message, there is one last gentle reminder. For the chosen one whose spirit confirmed what was described earlier, the path remains fully open in the description and pinned comment. That is the last time it will be mentioned. The frequency tool is there if you truly need it. What follows now belongs entirely to your spiritual ceiling and your glorious elevation. Take a very deep and slow breath. Feel the absolute purity of the air filling your healed lungs. The heavy anxiety that used to sit on your chest is completely gone. It has been replaced by a warm river of golden, divine energy flowing straight into your heart. You are no longer bleeding for people who deliberately misunderstood your pure intentions. You are deeply anchored in your supreme power. You are the master of your own glorious reality. The dark matrix has lost its primary energy source because you finally closed the heavy doors. The narcissists and the emotional vampires are currently starving outside your impenetrable energetic shield. They can look at your beautiful success from a massive distance, but they are never allowed to touch your sacred frequency ever again. This is the divine compensation you were promised from the very beginning. The universe is rapidly moving the right people into your elevated timeline. These new connections will not demand your energy or force you to constantly prove your worth. They will beautifully match your high vibration and honor the incredible sacrifices you made to get here. You have officially entered the promised land. You broke the heavy chains that held your entire bloodline in miserable captivity. The generational curses stopped the exact moment you decided to heal your deep trauma instead of passing it on. Your unborn children and your future generations will walk in massive wealth and pure peace because you fought the demons they will never have to meet. That is the true magnificent legacy of a chosen one. The powerful enemies who tried to destroy your reputation are completely terrified of your silence. They expected you to scream and fight back in pure anger. But your supreme stillness proved that you have completely outgrown their toxic games. They are entirely irrelevant to your glorious destiny now. Your absolute focus is exclusively locked on the massive spiritual wealth waiting for you. Every single day moving forward will feel incredibly different. You will wake up with a quiet smile instead of a heavy sigh. The magical synchronicities will flow into your physical reality with zero resistance. You will clearly hear the gentle whispers of your spirit guides, guiding your steps. The universe is rolling out the red carpet for its most loyal and absolutely beautiful spiritual warrior. But this incredible divine fire inside your chest was never meant to be hidden away. The massive light you carry is desperately needed in a world drowning in heavy beta wave chaos. There is another beautiful soul out there, wandering blindly in the dark right now. They are crying exactly like you cried last year, and heaven is asking you to become their vital, guiding light today. If this fiery message resonated perfectly with your spirit, do not keep this great blessing entirely to yourself. Share this video with someone who desperately needs to hear the divine truth. Sowing the seed of hope today is actively multiplying the massive blessing for yourself tomorrow. When you share this light, you prove to the universe that your hands are fully open to receive your inheritance. The pitch-black darkness has completely retreated behind you. The dawn of the new era is shining its brightest rays onto your spiritual crown. To permanently lock in this glorious frequency and create an absolute shield of divine protection around your life, type the word AMN down in the comments right now. Seal this beautiful reality with your physical action today. I am so incredibly proud of you for staying until the very end. You passed the ultimate test with absolute flying colors. The universe is completely thrilled to welcome you into your brand new era of quiet dominance. Your days of endless suffering are officially over. Step boldly into your glorious future. You are highly favored, and you are deeply loved by the divine source.